Hello everyone, it's the end of the year, which means it's time to share my favorite books of 2018. I've made a list, but apart from that this is completely unscripted, so we'll see how it goes and how long it's going to take, I guess. I'm nice and cozy in my pajamas, got my tea, got my Christmas tree. So let's do this. I made a list of my favorite books each month, and mostly I've got one book a month, except for a few months. And for series, I'll just mention the whole series. So first, on the 1st of January, I finished Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Bashar-Dust, and it was a really good book. So the first book I finished this year is already on my favorites list. It's kind of a fairy tale inspired thing. It has elements of various fairy tales in it. It's a perfect book for winter. It has two girls in love, which was very cute. And it has weird, messed up family relationships, which I thought were very well written. In January, I also read The Last Namsara by Kristen Ciccarelli. That one was also really good. It has dragons and storytelling. It has a female protagonist who isn't always very likable, but she learns and grows throughout the book, which I really liked. Then in February I have a bunch of books. This year really started off very good reading wise. I read Winter Song by S.J. Jones, and later I also read Shadow Song, the sequel. I was not super impressed at first, but I think I just kind of went into it with the wrong expectations. I assumed it was gonna be like YA style, and I thought it would be more fast-paced, more adventurous, but really it was more of a slow, definitely not young adult, it's an adult fantasy novel. It was slow-paced, but in a good way, like just really focusing on the main character and her journey. I thought it was really nice, and I'm still thinking about it. I actually liked the second part more than the first one. I don't know why, I just enjoyed it more. I thought it was a very original story and just like a quiet, calm read. You know, I mean, it gets wild sometimes, but like you can just take your time reading it and enjoying the ride. So we're still only in February. The rest of the year is going to go much faster, but in February I also read Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. I actually listened to the audiobook, which is really nice, so I recommend that if you have an audiobook subscription or can borrow audiobooks from the library, or maybe just want to buy an audiobook. I know this book is pretty hyped. The movie came out and the movie is also very good, but yeah, I read Becky Albertalli's other books in this universe as well, Leon the Offbeat and The Upside of Unrequited, and I loved all of them. I'm not sure which is my favorite because I feel like it might change when I reread them, but yeah, I think they're all really good, and I think Becky Albertalli is really good at writing teens and just being kind of realistic in high school weirdness. And also just, yeah, I could really relate to Simon, even though I'm not, you know, I'm not a gay guy, but I am queer, and there were just some things about coming out that really hit me. But of course, I just want to say, these books aren't the universal queer stories, but they are good, so. And I just want to say that The Upside of Unrequited is also really good. I feel like that one's kind of underhyped because everyone's all about Simon. That one's just a really good YA. It has a lot of body positivity. I recommend reading the books in the order they were published. So first Simon, then Upside, then Leah, because even though Upside is kind of more removed from the other books, it is set in the same world, and some of the characters do show up for some kind of cameo-like appearances, and that's just the order that the story goes. I read Upside last, and I would have preferred to read that one second, because, you know, some things change in Leah and the Offbeat that haven't happened yet in Upside, and that just makes it kind of weird to read them in that order. Another book I read in February, and after that we can finally continue to the rest of the year, is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. It's the second book in this trilogy, the first one being Assassin's Apprentice, and I just love Robin Hobb's writing. It's just really good. It's kind of slow, but it does keep your attention, and then at the end just suddenly things connect and happen, and like everything happens, and it's like, what? And yeah, I still have to read the third book. I just have so many books to read. But I don't really mind reading these with kind of long breaks in between, because they're, you know, they're pretty thick books and they do require some attention. I definitely recommend Robin Hobb. I want to read all of her books. I'm just gonna do that really slowly, probably, like, yeah, I'll get there. Alright then, in March I barely read anything, but I did read one really good book, which is Witch's Skin by Nem Rowan. It's a pretty gory book at times, like it's on the edge of what I can handle basically, but I'm glad I did read it. It's like a paranormal horror kind of book set in Wales. It really reminded me of the time I spent in Swansea. It's kind of set near there, you know, by the sea. Yeah, that's just a really nice place and a really nice setting. The main character is a trans guy. He gets in a relationship with another guy, and it's just really just good romance, good for paranormal stuff. I recommend reading it, and I think there is a sequel out just now, so I should probably get my hands on that. Yes. So then in April I read Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, and you might have heard about this book before because it was pretty hyped, but it deserves all the hype because it's really good. It's just an amazing fantasy world. Yeah, I don't know, just read it. I don't know. I don't have anything to say that can accurately describe this. I don't know. I just want to say I enjoyed this book immensely, and you should read it if you can. In May, I read Girl Made of Stars by Ashley Herring Blake, which is an amazing book. I wrote a review about this, so I'll link that in the description. It deals with a pretty tough subject. It deals with rape and rape culture, victim blaming, and just all that complicated stuff that happens when someone in a community, in a friend group, in a school is raped. It was very real. It's really hard to describe, but yeah, I wrote a review, so just go read that review, I guess, and maybe some more reviews. There are lots of them on Goodreads. But yeah, I think it's an important book, and I hope lots of people will read it. In June I read my favorite book this entire year, Baker Thief by Claudia Arsenault. It's just an amazing urban fantasy with a queer cast. The two main characters are a bi-gender aromantic baker / thief and a bi, if I remember correctly, demisexual police officer. There's a secret government conspiracy and just a lot of shit going on and magic and awesome stuff. It's really good. I am looking forward to the sequel. I want to read all of Chloe's books. Read Baker Thief. Just do it. Make me want to eat croissants. Yeah. Then on to July. In July I read When the Moon Was Ours by Anne-Marie McLemore. It's a magical realism book. It's really good. If you like really atmospheric and poetic writing, it's got some really good trans guy rap. It's got people of color in the leading roles. It is just beautiful. Then in August I read Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I still have to read the last book in this trilogy. I want to do that before the end of the year. I really enjoyed this book. There were some things that bothered me with the romance, and then there was a plot twist that I'm not sure if it makes it okay. Basically, I'm not entirely on board with the romance. But apart from that, it was really good. In September, I read a short story collection in a zine called Capricious. This was the gender diverse pronouns issue. It has various stories by various authors who use various pronouns themselves. Every single story was really good. I gave all of them 4 or 5 stars. It was just amazing to just see so much representation of various genders and various pronouns being used. It's a fantasy sci-fi collection, so if you like those genres and you would like to read more stories that use various pronouns, I highly recommend this. We've reached October, in which I read City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. This was my first Victoria Schwab book. I do own A Darker Shade of Magic and I really want to read it, but City of Ghosts was really good. It's just a really nice, spooky middle grade. Edinburgh is a perfect setting for a story like this. It really made me want to visit Edinburgh again. Yeah, I just really enjoyed this. It just had a really good friendship at the center of the story. That was a really good middle grade that I think people of all ages can enjoy. Then we get to November. This is the only time I picked a reread, partly because I just didn't read a lot of books in November. But I read Dracula by Bram Stoker, and you know, that's just one of my favorite books of all time. It definitely has some issues with mental illness. Well, I'm not even gonna say representation, it's just pure ableism. You know, it's got a lot of Victorian problematicness in it. But, you know, with that in the back of my head, I still absolutely adore this book. Well, now we're in December, which is right now, so I can't tell what my favorite book this month is going to be, because the month isn't finished yet. I just finished P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han, the second book in the To All the Boys I've Loved Before series, which is a really cute series so far. I just started the third and last book. I'm also listening to those on audio, and they're really nice audiobooks as well. They're very well narrated. The narrator is good. I'm actually gonna guess that my favorite this month is gonna be Antigone by Sophocles, which I'm reading for uni in Greek, mostly. You know, I'm reading a couple of parts in translation, but almost the entire play we're reading in Greek, and ancient Greek, obviously, because that's the language it was written in. It's a really good play. I'd actually love to see it performed someday, but reading it is also a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm guessing that's probably gonna be my favorite unless I discover some gems later this month. Lastly, I just wanted to mention my Patreon. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month, and you know, every little bit helps. I really love to be able to live from my writing someday, and that's why I have this Patreon. On it you can get early access to all my videos and to blog posts, you know, anything I put out online. I also send out a monthly newsletter with kind of what I'm going to do on this YouTube, on my blog, what I'm going to be writing. Sometimes I just make posts about writing. I share sneak peeks, short stories, lots of things. Go check out the link, it's in the description, and you can see all the tiers and what you can get. So without further ado, I wish you a very happy 2019. I hope you read lots of awesome books. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.